What up, fam? Today we're going to talk about something a little bit different. We're going to talk about pre-race anxiety, specifically my pre-race anxiety, and what I have been dealing with for quite a while, and maybe some of you at home may be dealing with the same thing. Guys, comment down below if you are currently dealing with any type of pre-race anxiety or just feeling anxious in general when it comes to races, and how you are coping with it, how have you overcome it, and maybe I'll learn a thing or two. Make sure you guys watch the whole video. We could see if we have things in common, and you can comment down below. We'll turn into a civilized discussion in the comments down below. So today we're going to talk about pre-race anxiety. As you guys know, if you've watched my channel for the last forever, I've had a slew of not really good races in terms of performances than what I know I'm capable of. Some of you may, watch my workout videos and stuff and be like, hey, Josh is probably training too hard, or maybe he's not recovering enough. But I mean, I've gotten a lot better of that over the years. Definitely a lot more tuned in the zone, training by feel and by heart rate, where I don't believe that is truly a factor. I've done enough workouts and, stuff by effort and heart rate that I'm pretty confident that if I was told right now to go to a track and hold, a certain reasonable pace that I have been in workouts for a certain length of time, I could totally do it, no problem. But I'm starting to realize that when I get to the line of a race and I try to run the race, nothing seems to go as planned, whether that be, the weather, the competition, the terrain, etc. And I believe that seems to get to my head. I believed, and I've been thinking about this, that my pre-race anxiety has come down to one thing, and it's not the pain that a person feels during a race, running hard, doing the best they can. It's not, for me, it's not the fear of not being able to hold a certain pace in workouts, or not doing enough specific workouts to be able to execute it on race day, kind of like studying for a test, right? It's actually the fear of competition for me. It's what I believe it is. If you guys have noticed, and if you've been watching me for a while on YouTube, ever since COVID started, we had so many time trials, and I started this channel around, the time that COVID was starting, and we had no races. We only could do time trials. And so I've noticed that I actually perform best when I'm by myself. I have done 3 time trials. I believe I posted all 3 on YouTube. You guys can check them out if you want. Pretty good videos. But I've done 1503, 1504, 1505 by myself on the track. No one to worry about but myself. But when you put me on a track race, or have me line up next to people, for some reason I have a hard time running, anything faster than like 1525. I usually run anything from like 1525 to 1540 when it's competition. When I'm by myself, I'm running, literally 22 seconds or so faster. My 10K PR at the Stumptown Twilight was because everyone dropped out of the race. It was the last event of the night, and I had no one to worry about but myself. My half marathon PR was at a big race with a lot of competition at the Rock and Roll Philadelphia Half Marathon in 2019. But the reason why I believe I did so well there is because there was so much competition, so many elite runners, that I had no choice but to worry about myself. So I ran my own race, which I need to do more of, and so I ran a PR. So I believe my issue is the fear of competition. The anxiety that I get, the levels of anxiety that I get leading up into the race, I believe are pretty bad. So let's talk about leading up into the race, any race, at least lately. I usually feel like when the race is approaching, I do not feel as excited that the race is happening. I do feel more excited for workouts than the race itself, and that's probably because my body has become accustomed to this fear that I know what's going to happen during the race, and it's going to be inevitable subconsciously. So as I lead up to the race, I tend to feel more anxious. For some reason, I tend to spend more time on the john. My body kind of just goes into rejection mode. I'm still eating the same foods. I'm still getting ample sleep literally up until the day before. But it's to the point that literally the day before, now sleep matters 2 days before, not so much the night before, but I can't sleep. I look as pale as a ghost, like my body's in flight or flight response. I have a hard time, I feel like, digesting food. Typical flight or fight stress hormone response you usually get when you're super stressed, like studying for a test or something in school. And that adversely affects me towing the line on race day. When I get to the race, my legs feel all locked up. My breathing feels labored. I can't hold the pace I've been holding for so many times in workouts in the race itself. My breathing becomes labored. I start to develop a stitch. I know you guys are like, you blame the side stitch all the time, but it really does happen. I get it like 80% of the time. It's not no way it's dehydration. It's not my diaphragm. I think it's my psoas. It's just that I get this like tightness in my abdomen, center abdomen, lower right abdomen, pretty much in any extreme stressful situation. Could be intestinal, right? It could be like I'm in such a big fight or flight response that blood is completely shunting away from my gut, and I'm starting to get that ischemic bowel, intestinal cramps that's causing the pain. Could be that, don't know. I have had a fair share of days where races that didn't happen or not as bad, and like probably the most recent was my good performance I did at the that one 10K in Colorado Springs, where I technically ran a 10K at altitude PR, which I was really proud of, and I went out pretty hard too. I mean, albeit the first 2 miles were downhill, but those are the things that I deal with before the race, and then during the race, because of the competition, I pay attention to like my competition's breathing, how they're feeling. Are they surging? Are they slowing down? Are they staying behind me? Is this person a miler? Is this person a half miler? That if because you guys know, after watching Nick Symmonds' mile video, I don't have a kick, and I think I have a subconscious fear that I don't have a kick. So I feel like I need to run Prefontaine style and just go from the gun until I can't hold it anymore, or try to get away from that person as quick as possible, or be as far as possible with a quarter mile to go, because there'll be no hope for me if they catch up. All these things are going on through my head. Within reality, you guys are probably thinking right now, I should just worry about my own race and my own self like I used to, back in the day. So to counter this, I'm actually going to enter myself into some races and have to force myself to treat them as workouts. So I'll get the benefit or the training of being able to, I'm leading up into a race, treat it like a workout so my body doesn't go haywire, line up with a race knowing that I'm going to have guys around me that are going to probably go out really hard and just run my own race, run my effort, and that should hopefully have me overcome some pre-race anxiety, or build the confidence that if I line up next to competition, that I'll be able to execute properly, and it's not the end of the world when it comes to executing races poorly, because it can happen, and it's just something you got to work on. So guys, comment down below if you've ever dealt with pre-race anxiety, how have you overcome it, and smash that like button. It really tells YouTube to push the video out. So for those that are maybe dealing with a similar issue, they can watch this video and maybe see if they're dealing with the same thing. Subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below. Catch you guys next time.